Brazil where the deals just shine. Boss ladies on the grind every single time. From victims to new, they got the fashion view. Step into their world, you feel brand new. Got Gucci, got Prada, got everything you crave. Their passion for fashion is what they bravely gave. Brazil getting strong and the ladies in command. 3 queens Brazil.
Hey friends, today's video is a what sold video. So what sold videos are just important to me as haul videos, maybe even more important because you get to actually see what is selling currently on platforms. So welcome friends, I am Stephanie with 3 Queens Resale. I am a reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, and eBay. And we do live auctions on Whatnot as well. And today I'm going to share with you my sales from January 1st through 7th. I'll let you know how long the item has been listed, what it sold for, and any shipping discounts or fees that I made, as well as my how much money I have in my pocket. Make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end because I will give my daily numbers and my action steps for next week to work on meeting my goals. So if that sounds good to you, hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're interested in learning more about becoming a reseller or reseller content in general. And let's get into it. So happy New Year, friends. We started off January 1st on a Sunday. How perfect is that? And we sold one item that were these Crocs black sandal. I had these in my inventory since October 4th of 2022. They were a bins pickup. Our bins is $1.79 a pound, but actually when I picked these up back in 2022, at that time, I believe our bins still had 99-cent days, and I feel like I got them on a 99-cent a pound day. So not that much into them. But they sold for $18 after $3.60 in fees. And I was left with $14.40, and those sold on Poshmark. I am still picking up Crocs. I source predominantly at the Goodwill outlet, also known as the bins. So, you know, it's easy to pick up stuff like that and, you know, have a lower cost of goods, but you also sometimes don't make a lot of money off of those things, and they sit. Moving on to January 2nd, Monday, January 2nd, we had 3 sales. The first was this Poshmark. It was this Tadashi green dress, size 12. It had been listed since December 19th. It sold for $32 after the $6.40 in fees and the $2.02 shipping discount. I was left with $23.58. Next on Poshmark, we had these Johnston and Murphy men's brown Oxford shoes. They were a size 12. They had been listed since October 5th of 2022. So 2 oldies but goldies out of here. Great way to start off the new year. These sold for $33 on Poshmark, and after the $6.60 in fees, I was left with $26.40. And then we had these Columbia trail stretch pants sell on Depop for $25. After the $4.08 in fees, I was left with $20.92. And those have been listed only since December 19th. Moving on to Tuesday, January 3rd, we had 4 sales. They were all on Poshmark. The first were these Lululemon leggings, size 2. They have been listed since mid-November. They sold for $21, and after the $4.20 in fees, I made $16.80. Lululemon does not command the price that it used to, and right now on Whatnot, people are starting Lululemon at $1. I actually believe a lot of that is counterfeit. I don't have any, I haven't bought any and it's been counterfeit, but I have popped into a few of the auctions, and just what I know from Lululemon and reselling it for years, I have never known it to be wholesale pallets in a situation where resellers could sell hundreds of pieces a day on starting at $1 and let it go for $5 and $6, $7, $8. It just mathematically, I don't think it's adding up, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted. But my Lululemon is legit. Next up, this Johnny Was peasant top sold on Poshmark as well. It was a size extra small. It sold for $36 after the $7.20 in fees and the $2.02 shipping discount. I was left with $23.78. I had that top since November 7th. I had actually had it longer, maybe a couple of years. I pulled it out of our inventory and put it in Well of a Sale, which is an in-person consignment situation that we have here in Central Indiana twice a year. And it's kids clothes, but they have a women's section, boutique section as well. And it still didn't go there. So I relisted it on Poshmark and it sold. Yay. Goodbye. Next up was were these Boggs green floral kids boots. They're size 3. They sold for $25. After the $5 in fees, I was left with $20. And those have been listed since November 20th. Those were a Ben's pickup. Next up was this Barney Newitt Tags clutch purse that I have had for a good 2 years, but it, along with the Johnny West peasant top, was relisted. It was in that women's sale. It was Newitt tag, and I believe it had like a tag on it for like over $400, something crazy. But anyway, it sold for $60, and after the $12 in fees, I was left with $48. Moving on to Wednesday, January 4th, we had 7 sales that day. So the first up was this Princess Polly dress. It was a size 2. It sold for $17. After the $3.40 in fees and the $2.02 shipping discount, I was left with $11.58. It had been listed since December 18th, and that was actually given to me free, so I had $0 into that. Next up were these Everlane jeans, size 26. They sold for $26, and after the $5.20 in fees, I was left with $20.80. Those sold on Poshmark, and they'd also been listed since November 18th. This next one was also on Poshmark, and they have been listed since May 29th. They were a Ben's pickup as well. They were these Tom's Desert Suede lace-up wedges, black, size 9.5. They sold for $17. After the $3.40 in fees, I was left with $13.60. Tom's do not typically go for much, but they will sell. So if you are outsourcing shoes, I would not source Tom's unless it's one of like the new current styles, which this Desert Suede was not. It's one of the traditional like wedges that they have. But I would not pay up for them. But Ben's pricing, yes. Next up were these Born Concept black leather mules, size 9. They had been listed since December 7th. They were also a Ben's pickup. They sold for $20 after the $4 in fees and the $2.02 shipping discount. I was left with $13.98. Next on Poshmark, we had this Sundance blouse sale. It was a size small. It had been listed since November 3rd. And it sold for $18. After the $3.60 in fees, I was left with $14.40. Then we also had 2 sales on Mercari. January 2nd. So we're talking about January 4th. This item was listed on January 2nd, so it sold in 2 days, less than 2 days probably. Was this Aloe tank top. So Aloe is my new be on the lookout Bolo brand. It sold for $25 after the $3.87. I was left with $21.13. We do have another aloe tank that I listed, but it is like a cream color, so size medium as well. It hasn't sold yet, so if you need some aloe, go check me out in Mercari. Link down below in the description. Then next up, we had this Casper Newitt Tag green blazer coat sale. It had been listed since December 16th of 2022, so over a year. It sold for $37, and after the $5.50 in fees, I was left with $31.50. Moving on to Thursday, January 5th, we had these Hurley men's board shorts, size 34. They sold for $11. After the $2.95 in fees, I was left with $8.05. I am really focusing here in 2024 on getting my average sell price up. So we'll be selling off a lot of the lower priced items in auctions, so that we have higher priced things listed. Next up was this Pendleton sweater, pink size 2X. This was one where I had just closet cleared it out so many times that it never adjusted it, that they got a steal of a deal. But this sold for $11 after the $2.95 in fees and the $2.02 shipping discount. I was left with $6.03. Then we had a Mercari sale. This Tommy Bahama Island Zone Skirt. It sold for $38. After the $5.55 in fees, I was left with $32.45. And that one had just been listed less than a month since December 19th. Next up on eBay, I sold this Zara embroidered dress. It is a 2XL, and it was new at tag. It sold for $75. I forgot to write down the fees, but I walked. The profit was $68. And that wraps up our Thursday. Moving on to Friday, January 6th, we had 4 sales as well, on 3 on Poshmark, 1 on Mercari. So on Poshmark, we had these Spanx pants, gray, size large. Those were a bins pickup. They have been listed since June 18th. They sold for $25 after the $5 in fees. I was left with $20. Then we had this Chico's peasant blouse, blue, size small, sell as well. It had been listed since March 31st. It was also a bins pickup. It sold for $25. After the $5 in fees, I was left with $20. Then we had these Clark's ankle boots, brown size 12, sell as well. They were also a bins pickup, and I love picking up larger size women's shoes. Larger size women's shoes typically move very quickly for me. These had been listed since November 20th. They sold for $22, and after the $4.10 in fees, I was left with $17.60. The next up on Mercari, we sold this Joseph Ribkoff party dress, size 8. It had been listed since March of 2022. So over, actually, it had been 2 years in this March, so quite a while. 18 months we've had that. It sold for $25 after the $3.94 in fees. We walked away with $21.06. And the last day of the week is Saturday. We had 2 sales, 1 Mercari, 1 eBay. On Mercari, we sold this Ann Taylor knit sweater dress, size 16. It had been listed since April 30th. It sold for $20 after the $3.29 in fees. I was left with $16.71. And then on eBay, we had another new tag Zara dress sale. This was a purple dress, like a purple wrap dress. It's been listed since October 13th. It sold for $20. After the $4 in fees, I was left with 16. So, light week, but it was a holiday week. I didn't send out any offers to likers or anything. The shipping discount was like the ones that, well, I guess I did through my Posture VA. It automatically sends out an offer when people like things. I didn't do anything additional like I normally do throughout the week. So for the week 1 of 2024, we had a grand total of, I'll go through our numbers. So there are 3 matrix that I use to like track our sales and our progress towards our goals. That is the ASP, which stands for average sale price. Our goal is to have an average sale price of $20. Since I source at the bin $1.79 a pound, I feel like that is a good average sale price for me in my sourcing. I do source at a local consignment shop, but because I'm able to get goods so low at the bins, it kind of balances off, and I don't source that many things from the consignment shop anymore. But this week's actual ASP was $21.81. So we met our goal. We're over 100%. Let's hope we can keep that up throughout 2024. The other metric that I use to track is items sold. I want to move 50 items a week. That's my current goal. And so we moved 25. So we're at 50% of our goal. And that's pretty good, seeing that I didn't send out any like big sales. I normally like do a clearance sale or something. So I'm happy. Of course, I always wish it would be a little bit more. But it's okay for not doing anything extra. Then I'd like to make a total of $1,000 a week. Right now is the goal. This month or this week we sold $661.64. So we're at 66% of our goal. That does include $114.87 in a whatnot auction that I did as well. So our breakdown as far as the numbers, Poshmark, we had 17 items sell for a total of $316.50. Mercari, 5 items sell for a total of $122.85. eBay, 2 items, both Zara dresses, for a total of $84. Depop, just 1 item this week, $20.92. And then we have the one whatnot auction that brought in $114.87. So another metric, one of the things I'm working on is listing and being consistent and listing daily. So my goal was to list 280 items this week. I wanted to see like if I could do that. I did have a couple of days where I wasn't able to list at all. So I listed 106 items. So that was a lot, but I feel like I can definitely do better. So I'm only at 38% of my listing goal for the week, but I'm continuing to work on a system, and once I get that hammered out and I can consistently list 280 a week, I'll do a video and share with you, but I'm not there yet. And now my action steps for next week. So to help me move towards those goals, we have plenty of items sourced, so I am not going sourcing next week, which is perfect because I am leaving town on Thursday to go to see my oldest daughter, that girl right there. She is competing with Indiana University in the national college cheerleading championship. So I'm excited to go spend some time with her in Orlando and cheer her on. So I'm not going to source before I leave because I plan to source some in Orlando. I've rented a car, so I'm going to do some outlet mall sourcing, try to find some new tag items, some Bath and Body Works type beauty products, things like that. And I'm even taking an extra suitcase. But my action plan for next week is still to work on listing as much as I can and hit that 280 item goal. That's my stretch goal. If I could get to 200 this week, since I was at 106, that is like my real goal. I would consider myself successful. Have 5 auctions this week. We had 1 last week, so I'd like to have 5 this week. And then send out offers on Depop. That is a new feature on Depop, and I notice when I'm consistent with it, we do get sales. So I'm going to, anytime someone likes something, I'm going to send out an offer. So I'll pick a time during the day, a couple of times during the day, to do that, just so it doesn't get too far behind. Then on Mercari, I'm going to promote 10 items a day. Mercari allows you to promote only 10 items a day where you adjust the price. So I'm going to do that. And then for Poshmark, I'm going to be consistent in delisting and relisting items older than 90 days. I'm going to do 50 items a day every day this week. Our inventory is sitting right under 2,000, I think. So I'm happy with that. We do have a big closet, and I'm happy with growing that even more. My only goal for eBay is just to kind of keep it clean. My main eBay store is below standard, and so just to keep it clean and get items shipped out so that we can kind of dig our way out of that situation. And like I said, I have, you make a few mistakes on eBay and you pay for it, and it just makes you better and you learn. So the goal this year is to get eBay really flourishing. So if you like what sold videos and you want to track my progress this year, or want tips and tricks along the way, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and then anytime I upload, you will be notified. But I thank you so much for joining me in this one, and I will see you in the next one.
3 Queens, Brazil, where the deals just shine. Boss ladies on the grind every single time. From Vegas to new, they got the fashion view. Step into their world, you feel brand new. Got Gucci, got Prada, got everything you crave. Their passion for fashion is what they bravely gave. Brazil game strong and the ladies in command. 3 Queens, Brazil, taking over the land.